Well, today could be a really good day. I'm back at LyddenHill, so it's Motorsport Photography. Quickly talk about the settings in a minute, but it's the classic cars that are racing. So we've got Minis, we've got Mark 1 Cortinas. Is that? I thought it was a Mark 2 Cortina. Ford Anglias, Austin A30s, and there's an A40 in there as well. So lots and lots of classic car photography. I'm at Devil's Elbow, which is great, so I'll get them panning round. I might move the camera so that you can get some of that action a little as well. Maybe kind of that angle as they come round. They're just warming up at the moment. So what am I going to do for my camera settings? I'm going into shutter priority. I'm going to set the ISO to auto, and the beauty is it's a lovely sunny day. So even though it's on auto ISO, I can't imagine it dropping to more than ISO 400. So it'll be 100, 150, 240, whatever the camera sets, because the semi-auto mode of shutter priority will keep that level. And I don't have to worry about it. Shutter speed, in order to get the pan with the car, you've seen it in a previous video, link up here. In order to get the pan with the car, I will be swiveling from the hip, but holding the camera still, and I will potentially get the background all blurred. It should be good. So in order to do that, I need a 60th of a second. I could go to a 40th because I'm handheld. I've got vibration reduction on. Sounds like they're zooming up. One car's being towed away already. You'll see it come past in a minute. So yeah, recap. Shutter priority, 1/60th of a second, and the camera does the aperture, the camera does the ISO. All I've got to do is pan and take some shots. I'm also going to combine this video with some street photography. So we'll go to the paddocks after this section, and I'll walk around. There's some classic cars, so I might be able to get some kind of HDR type images. But certainly the people, lots and lots of people over at the paddocks, and they will be black and white. I think what I'll do is I'll follow this race round. I'll leave the video running, and I'll just layer image after image, and I'll put the f-stops, and the speed's going to be 1/60th. So I guess the only thing to be interested in is what f-stop does the camera choose in semi-automatic mode, and also what ISO does it choose. And that's an interesting exercise, because I'm using shutter priority, but I'm kind of working with the sun facing me. So we just let it run, and you'll get image, image, image. We'll add, I'm only using my 18 to 140 lens. Lady here's got super zoom, but I'm only here. Lovely old cars. I forgot I had it on single burst shoot mode, and actually I had to quickly change it to continuous shooting, only because as I pan I want to burst off as many shots as I can, knowing that potentially one or two of them, you know, don't come out. But if I'm going bang, 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 4 or 5 shots, I'm going to get at least one good shot. The Mini's taken over from the Cortina. Nice Ford Anglia. A40. Here comes the Toyota. Are you ready for this shot? Hopefully we can get some shots of them just coming around the bend here. This Lotus Cortina. So a little exercise there in panning. Shutter priority. What have I got for my focus? It's actually on auto server. Normally it's a case of single point focus, but I had an issue with my camera the other day and it wasn't focusing on something, so I did a complete reset. And now it seems to be giving me everything it ought to give me. Maybe that's the exercise. There's a second race coming, so I'll stop this one. We've got some footage, we've got some shots. I'm going to drive to the top and we'll take some shots of the cars on the bend, and then we'll go into the paddocks. So as far as the eye can see, down to my left, we got all these British cars and foreign cars and BMWs, Minis, Dolomites. I'm in my element. Let's walk down and name these cars. Austin Healey, it says 100 on it. Oh yes, nothing like an MGB, eh? Buick, Herald Vitesse, Dolomite. I see a Messerschmitt in front of me. Is that a Messerschmitt? It is. 1961. Wow, look at the condition of this. Astonishing. He's even got his own little trailer on it. A40, Mini. Oh, there's just so much to see here, isn't there? Look at these beautiful cars. Look at this XR4. I was never sure about the big double spoiler on the back, but it's looking more and more iconic with its age, isn't it? That is in some good condition. 1980s rocked. The Golfs. Drop head. Vauxhall Victor. Is that an FB? Cosworth. A wolf in sheep's clothing, do we think? I couldn't even begin to tell you what the engine is in that. Look up there. Jags, Daimlers. Don't know where to go. To be quite honest, I didn't come for the classic cars. I came for the photography. But it's just so much fun. Is that a Consul Capri? My dad had one of these as a four-door. Well, it was a four-door, you know, the saloon one with the Anglia back window. When I was tiny, tiny, tiny. I love the iconic shape. Very American, isn't it? When you think about the Rover next to it being very English, that was the banker's car, wasn't it? Or the accountant. I had one of them as my wedding car, funnily enough. A little Escort. Is this an AC Cobra? One of the originals. Before it became American, do you think? Completely unbadged or debadged, as they say. Hillman Minx. More MGs than you can shake a stick at. Ford Prefect. Oh, look at this beauty. Little Triumph. A himp. An imp. Is that the California? The coupe. We seem to have the Alfa Romeo Ownership Club. And down here, the Mini Owners Club. Lots of minis. Oh, look at that minivan. Love a minivan. Get all my music gear in there. We'll go on a photography trip. You couldn't really camp in that, could you? Right, I'm just going to take a walk through the paddock. I don't think that there's a lot to talk about. Might do some video footage, but what I want to do is try and do some street photography. Now, with street photography, again, it's shutter priority, and I'm just going to set it to 1/125th, so 1/125. Let the auto exposure do its thing, the ISO, and the f-stop will be selected by the camera. But at 1/125th, we should get some good shots. Now, as I've said in a previous video, what makes good street photography for me is some kind of engagement. People are talking to one another. There's a transaction going on. Someone's buying a beer or a coffee and they're handing over money. So kind of capturing real life. There does seem to be a lot going on, which is great. There's lots of people milling about, fixing cars. So what I'll do, take a whole series of shots and just overlay them, you know. Street photography, 1/125th of a second, convert to black and white. So you know that time you were learning to ride a bike and you mastered it and then you just never forget how to ride a bike. That time, if you swim, that you jumped in the pool and you learnt your breaststroke and your crawl and your backstroke and you just never forget it. Motorsport photography is kind of like that. Once you know you're going to be running it on shutter priority at 1/60th of a second, you're going to have your ISO set to auto and the camera manages the f-stop. All you have to do is just pan with the subject. and you kind of never forget it. So that was a fun experience. It's always going to be shutter priority for me at Motorsport. They're queuing up for one other round. I'm not going to be here all day. They're revving up and they're off. Something different. Here they come again. Let's get the different minis. BMW. So that's it, one more time, done. I got about 300 pictures out of that. Enough to fill a portfolio if I was going to do that, but the essence of the session was let's do some more moto sports photography, and it's historics on the hill. That's what I'd forgot what it was, and it's very noisy now. So yeah, again, get out there for your motorsport, whether it's motorcycles, cars, Tour de France if you're in France, 1/60th of a second auto ISO, and let the camera decide on the f-stop. I shall say thanks for watching, bearing with, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now. This camera's going crazy. Follow me.